Hi, my name is Grace Randolph, and I'll be discussing the moral status of humans and non-human animals. I'll also be discussing how we should treat animals in regards to food and how we should treat humans in regards to abortion. I would first like to start off with animals with food and their moral status. I'm arguing under the two-tier theory, which is that animals, though they do have a moral status, are below human moral status. In this sense, I'm arguing that it is morally wrong and ethically wrong to raise animals like cows and chickens and those farm animals to then kill off later on and inject all sorts of antibiotics and things so that it tastes a certain way, and that we then create different grades so that we can sell off to poor, middle class, and then upper class, and it creates a rift in our society and economy. I disagree with the fact that those animals only see the light of day 4 or 5 times, according to they die in peace, and that they are then slaughtered. They are shocked so that they can't feel anything, but they can see everything, and they know what's going on. They are consciously aware that they are being raised to be killed. However, I do believe that game and fish and wildlife are necessary to our society in the sense that it is often used as a means of keeping the population down and providing a way of food and things like that for the people who do hunt. So our government has hunting seasons, say for ducks or for deer, during the time when they're most likely to be overpopulated, and this is so that we can keep the population to whatever we need so that it's not overpopulated in a sense. So I am arguing again that animals do have a moral status, that they should not be raised to then be killed. However, wildlife and game and fish are open because it keeps the population down. Next, I would like to talk about how we can go about doing having meat but not having to hurt the animals when it comes to livestock and things like that. Livestock meaning farm animals, slaughterhouses are used with livestock. This would go back to vegetarian meat, where Hopkins and Dacey talk about possibly creating these animals from their cells and growing, or not animals but necessarily, but just the meat of the animals, like growing the leg of a chicken or growing the backside of a cow, and this only taking maybe 2 or 3 days possibly, and allowing for the animals not to be brought up to be slaughtered instead. This is vegetarian meat in the sense that we again are not killing the animals to have them as food, but instead we are taking their cells and having food, and no one is being harmed. So this would allow for us to still eat the animals and still have the same taste and meat and all that, but we wouldn't be harming the animals. This is under the ethical theory of utilitarianism, which means that we would like to maximize happiness in order to reduce suffering, and that would be suffering for the animals, and it would maximize happiness because we would be able to eat the food. We could even, it even says, or it can be assumed that if we do create this mass production of easily accessible meat and protein and the things that come along with it, could be sold cheaply, possibly to non-affluent countries who need that meat, need that food, and it would be easier and easily accessible. Next, I would like to discuss the human moral status and in regards to abortion. A counterclaim to what I believe is that we are, as a woman, I'm arguing under Thompson's defense of abortion, that if we do not choose to have the child, or if we, in regards to rape, incest, and things that might psychologically hurt the woman or the child, or in medical conditions that if the mother was to die later on in life or later in pregnancy because she can no longer carry the child, then I believe that abortion is necessary. Though an argument is, where do we draw the line? When does the fetus become a conscious human being? Also, the future like ours. Marquise talks about if we kill them, it takes away a future like ours that they could have. With this argument, again, when in childbearing and in childbirth, if you chose not to have that child, if you chose and did not want the child, a pro-choice view would be that the child should not be born, and to have abortion would be ethically moral. It would be moral because under utilitarianism, again, it would maximize happiness and reduce suffering, because if that child was born and lost their mother, say, and because of a medical condition, who would raise a child? And that also goes to Let's Get Real About Abortion, where David Fern discusses how a governor brought up a point that women should carry a baby to full term even if the woman was raped. However, he says that we shouldn't discuss whether or not abortion should be banned. We should discuss whether or not, or how, if we say that the woman should carry the child to term, how would we provide help and assistance to that woman? Would we give her aid? Would we give her money? Would we pay for the child's education? Would we pay for clothing? Would we pay for medical bills? He states that in Germany, they provide money through the age of 25. They provide an education. They provide assistance. They provide medical and leave for the mother. And that ends up one of the lowest abortion rates in the world is in Germany, because the government offers more help for German women, and it allows for the women to feel as though they are being helped and that they are a desirable commodity in the world, and not just someone who bears a child and is used as an end to means. With this, I would like to say that you cannot tell someone whether or not they can keep a child or take the child away. It is that person's right, the one who has to bear it, the one who has to take care of it for the next 18 to however long years, the one who has to spend the money and deal with the psychological problems and the medical issues. That is the person who gets to decide, along with the partner, if the partner did not rape them. That is the person who gets to decide whether or not they have the child. Again, this is under utilitarianism, because the child or the mother is the one who has a life, who, if raped or if has a medical problem, is the one who has to deal with it. And she should be able to have maximum happiness to reduce suffering in the sense, because that was not her choice, or it could hurt her, and she's the one living now. Thank you.